Well, good day and I love you. My name is Heather Peterson Lockhart. We're going to try this again. I guess Spirit thought I needed a little bit of cardio. I was going to move it inside and then it stopped raining, and I'd much rather be out here listening to the sounds of nature and just feeling the vibration of nature. So we are going to have a quick chat out here while it's beautiful, and enjoy the rest of this day together before the sun sets. So we're going to talk about, today I'm going to share with you a beautiful tool that, I don't even want to call it that. That's like today talk. That's not even my talk. I used to be a train wreck in my life, like an absolute and total train wreck. Like enough of a train wreck to earn me a nickname in the county in which I lived, and to have some judges like know me by name, you know? So the fact that I live a very different life now, filled with abundance and beauty and solutions, is an entirely different deal. So I have created some, or I have adapted to, and what's the word I'm looking for? I have some ways of living now that are really, really beneficial. So I enjoy sharing them, and I enjoy sharing my experience, strength, and hope with others, especially right now, because it's a really interesting, changing time on Earth, isn't it? So with that, I have my bowl here, as those of you who spend time with me know I do. This is a beautiful heart chakra Tibetan bowl. There we are. And this is the vibration of our heart chakra. So I'm going to play this for just a second, and we're going to take a couple deep breaths together and allow ourselves to tune into our own biology and all that is around us. Take a big breath and tune in and attune, all these fancy words for calm the fuck down and remember we're human. Are you ready? Okay. All right, so go ahead and sit with both of your feet flat on the ground, or if you're on the floor, you can fold your legs or sit your legs outside, and then bring your belly button forward, your chest back, and your shoulders back and your chest forward. And we're going to take a big breath in through our nose and then out through our mouth. And as we exhale, we're going to make the sound of an exhale like this, so that our body can hear the exhale, which is super calming for our biology. Are you ready? Go ahead and close your eyes and take a big breath in through your nose like this. And let it go out through your mouth. And in through your nose. And out through your mouth. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. Wiggle your fingers and your toes with new energy and love. And take your left hand and put it on your heart. Take your right hand and put it on your left. And say, I love you, to your body that shows up every day to host this amazing experience. Say, I love you, to this earth that hosts the body. And say, I love you, to a higher power greater than we, allowing it all to flow beautifully in harmony. I love you. I love you. I love you. And let's take one more big breath in through our nose. And let it go out through your mouth. And open your eyes. I find sometimes when I do this here on here with y'all that that's the first time that I've taken some big breaths in the day, which is really pretty stinking ridiculous if you ask me, but 'tis what it is, isn't it? Right? Okay, so I've been thinking lately in my own life and in my dealings with all of the beautiful things around me that are in a whole lot of change, right? The world's in a whole lot of change and things are changing greatly. And so how are humans brought up? We're brought up very much that we like to keep things the same, and that if they're not the same and if they're uncomfortable for us, we should probably take some effort to make them the same or change them in a way that makes us feel more comfortable, right? So we have a really changing world right now with really changing systems and ever-changing information available that is making people feel all kinds of ways, right? And so we have all kinds of people around us deciding they're gonna feel this type of way and do this type of thing, and this is right and this is wrong, and there's every opportunity around us to react to everything going on, and to put ourselves into problem-solving mode and put our little fix-it cap on and go out there and fix what's wrong. And really, what does that mean? What does fix what's wrong mean? It means alter what's going on in front of me in a way that I will find more suitable and digestible for me, right? I really want to make it look or be a way that I find suitable, which means I either find it more comfortable, I've done it before, or it's something where I'm pretty sure of the outcome, right? Because that's what humans are really all about, right? That's when we're like calling it comfortable. When we have some experience, so we're fairly certain of the outcome, or it feels good and we're comfortable, and when we feel like we have some control over the situation is basically what it comes down to. So when we don't feel like we have control over the situation, if it's a brand new experience, and if things feel really out of control and like we're not going to be able to wrangle it, then we feel like we have to go problem solve and fix it. But what if we were brought up in an entirely different way from the very beginning, and we were taught up that everything happening in front of our face and everything occurring in our lives is absolutely for us a gift, an invitation for our elevation and our growth, should we choose to accept it and show up. And that if I'm not seeing what's going on in front of me in that light, that it's my job to reframe my perspective accordingly so that I might show up in a way of service, right? So the words I put on this today, which I'm really, really tickled with because they're really, really fun, is I don't have to choose to be a problem solver. I get to be a solution allower, right? Because humans are brought up to put on their little problem-solving cap and go solve the solution. Well, the vibration of the problem is not the same vibration as that of the solution. So if I have my feet in problem-solving mode and my heart and my head are above my feet, which means I'm completely in the problem, looking for a way to solve it, then I'm not going to get anywhere. Nothing's going to change. But if I would permit and allow that everything happening for me, regardless of the degree of discomfort, regardless of how much I feel like it's really not going to turn out and it's really a total shit show, it doesn't matter. What if I just choose to make a decision, right? What if I just choose to make a decision that I'm sure it's for me because that's what happens on earth? That's what I love. That's how it works. And then I'm able to reframe my perspective accordingly. Because here's the deal. Here's some science behind this little energetic concept that makes it just delicious and delightful and digestible. We're on an earth that forces adaptation and evolution. And so that's the way it's going. It is going in a way that is helping us grow. Any situation that is occurring for us that we might find happening to us is happening at vibrationally, energetically, developmentally, choose your word, at just the right time. At just the right time, gifted by spirit. so that we can grow. Now, if you're really growing, especially if you're on a fast growth curve, or you're really allowing the growth, you're really deciding to let yourself evolve and embrace new ideas readily, like you're really a flexible person, unlike most of us, but you're just really going with the flow, right? Then you are, oh, I wish I could wind that back. I had a thought going there that I just lost. Hold on, let me track it again. Oh, then if you're really doing that a lot, then you're becoming, you're beginning to understand that if you're growing quickly, the degree of not knowing where you're going to end up, or not having had any experience in the circumstance or situation, becomes more frequent. Okay? And you can understand this. It's like, I mean, it's like if you're in a car and there's, you got the windows a little bit down, then the drag, you know, the wind coming in the car is just a little bit on your hair. But if you've got the windows the same degree, but you're really moving fast, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of wind on your hair. It's kind of the same idea. If you're really allowing yourself to grow, then the situations, yes, I got it back. If you're really allowing yourself to grow, then the situations and their degree of occurrence that are causing discomfort and change will become more frequent. And so if you can allow yourself to reframe your circumstances, understanding that, it gives you an entirely new perspective. Most humans, I was talking about synchronicity today earlier, and I was saying that I used to refer to synchronicity in a way that I would be like, oh crap, here goes that crap again, or you know how that's going to turn out, or we all know what happens here, oh yeah. And I would have this really negative attitude about the circumstances and about how things were going to turn out, because that was the way I was operating. It was the vibration I was in, and so therefore it was what I expected. It was my energetic loop. I never really, I mean, it sounds silly to say this right now, but I never really allowed myself to think outside of that loop, that perhaps things could be amazing, past my wildest imagination, unlike it happened to me in this circumstance before, you know? So what if I simply made a decision and decided that everything happening to me could turn out better than I could possibly fathom, better than I am used to imagining, if I simply allowed that to be a possibility, and all I have to do is get out of the way of the process. So then again, I go back to those words. I don't have to be a problem solver. I have to be a solution allower. Those are two completely different vibrations with the same want, with the same aim and the same goal. It's just a very different way of approaching what's going on in our lives. And what ends up happening as I become a solution allower is I inadvertently step into an attitude of gratitude. I change my vibrational response to my life. And as I change my vibrational response to my life, I change my vibrational magnet, my vibrational being, my vibrational, I call it our vibrational resonance. I change the focal point for the universe, for all that is, to match me. How beautiful is that? So as I simply say, all right, I trust that it can be more beautiful, more balanced, more healthy, more happy, more sexy, then I've been allowing. I just decide to knock the socks out of my own restriction, okay? I'm just gonna be crazy here. I'm just gonna be crazy. I'm just gonna be so crazy, and I'm going to let go of my restrictions of how crappy it's gonna turn out. and I'm just gonna allow that it might be amazing, okay? If if nothing else, I'm going to learn. I'm going to end up better on the other side. And I don't know what that looks like, right? Okay? So right there, I'm allowing a solution. I'm freeing up the expectation. Notice I'm not saying, be very careful here. I'm not saying, I know it's going to turn out good like this. I pray it'll turn out like this. I need it to turn out like this, and then it'll be good. Two different things. No, I'm saying whatever is happening to me is a vibrational match for the gift of my evolution. Whatever is occurring in front of me is past my wildest understanding. The best match that the universe is gifting for me to grow, to level up, as you gamers say. To level up to the next level so that I can play even more and I can have even more. I can have more, my word is conduction. I can have more participation with all that is, which usually means being a steward of more resources, which means I get to manifest more good stuff that I want, because that's how it goes. It is a conductive circuit. So this whole little game of going from waking up in the day to like, oh, I've got this going, and this going. Now I got to solve all these problems. To wow, whoa, I got this going, and this going. I have never dealt with any of these before. This is a lot. This time. This is really a lot. All right. Well, I trust that what I need is flowing to me. Yeah. And I'm going to do the next right thing. And I'm going to remain open, allowing, and excited. Even, dare I get excited? Huh? How audacious of me. I'm going to get excited about all of the beauty and the balance and the resources and the biology, the humans that are going to come to me today at just the right time, in just the right way, and help me in the ways that I need. This is incredible. Whoa, how much fun is this? Yeah. All right. So, game on. Here we go. Right? And then it can be a game that I allow myself to step into and to participate in and to play in. Again, that does not mean I control all the variables. That does not mean that all of the things that occur in the game today are going to feel good, or that I'll want to repeat them. But isn't that like any game, right? You got to go through some parts to level up that maybe you don't want to repeat. They're not your favorite, right? But each time you learn. That's the idea. And so when I change my... And this is really good for me right now, because there's so many situations around me. For y'all who do not... let me say this. Let me pause and have a sip of my cafe. That was more than a sip, wasn't it? That was a big old pull. What was I going to say? Oh, I have a card fest. I was going to say what? Oh, it looks like I might want to say what I want to say and wrap it up. I think the weather is saying you might not have much time. Let's see here. I have not watched the regular television or listened to the radio in 2025. So like a good decade now, okay? And like I don't even know who's running for president until I see the signs in people's yards. I have no clue what's going on in current politics, really. I do at a different level, like off regular news sources, you know. I kind of plug into things on a different level, but not the mainstream media. So I'm completely oblivious to what's going on. I loved it the other day when my son was on the phone. And for those who know my son, you also know he's extremely adept and can have a conversation with anyone on the earth. And he was on the phone asking me something as someone was asking him something about Kanye West, something about one of Kanye West's songs. And my son was like, I don't know the song. I barely know who he is. And the guy was like, what do you mean you barely know who he is? And my son was like, I don't watch it. I don't listen to it. I don't know who he is. And the dude was like, I could hear the conversation because he was on the phone with me at the time, and I was like in the background, like victorious. I was so tickled at the response from the man that he was in literal shock that my son barely knew who Kanye West was, and absolutely didn't know any of his songs. And you know, for the person listening that's like, well, you know, like I said, you'd have to know my son. He's not lacking in any type of way. So I'm not in mainstream culture, and I don't feel I need to be. And for those that say, well, what about this? I'm still going to pay my taxes. I'm still going to show up in my community. I'm still going to proactivate from my biology first, my family second, my family and my home, and then to my neighborhood and community. So I'm still going to conduct things the same way I do. I love that I chose that word, conduct, regardless of what happens with these entities and these systems. So I don't really feel like they have too much to do with me in that way. I do feel like my code of living comes from a much higher law. And as long as I conduct myself accordingly to that much higher code of living, I seem to do all right, regardless of what the systems and the politicians and the people around me choose to do. That's been true for me for quite some time. For those of you who know me, you can attest to that. So, as I was the other thing I wanted to say is I was thinking about how there's a line in my big book. I am active in a program of recovery. I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic. I used to wreck shit and just be a train wreck, an absolute and total train wreck. And so I am part of this wonderful program for living, and it says no human power could have removed our alcoholism. I've been thinking about this recently. I've been thinking about that sentence, right? And I've been thinking about how it's of great contrast to me when I interact with everyday humans now, and when I do work with people and I hear what's going on with them and what's possibly causing dis-ease in their head state, their heart state, and in their biological state, because often it has much to do with what's going on with these systems and these people around us, and less to do actually with what's going on with them, honestly, and their own families, which is interesting. Okay, so I lost my train of thought. Hold on, let me check it. Yes, so with that, I was thinking about that line from my big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, is the book it comes from. And it says no human power could have removed our alcoholism. And so I was thinking about how no human power could have removed the diseased way of believing, of behaving that ran through me and from me before. It had to be arrested and attuned by spirit itself. And so with that, I trust that the maintenance for my personal attunement and behavior has everything to do with my connection to all that is, to spirit itself, and then the beliefs and the behaviors that I pull from that and operate in. Those who are in my inner circle often hear me talk about operating systems, the operating system, right? And so with that, no humans and their behavior right now, no matter how rank ass, have shit to do with who I am and how I operate. And I think that's extremely important. I think that's extremely important right now, because just as no human power could have relieved my alcoholism, no human power is going to get right within me what I needed right, nor keep it right. That's my personal practice and daily maintenance with all that is. Humans today have become so reliant upon what they see in front of their faces and hear with their ears from the other humans and their silly monkey behavior that they have lost sight, reliance upon, and faith in God. Because God has got small because the humans got so loud. Well, what if I tune some of the humans, the systems, and their stupid ass behavior out and tune in to righteous behavior that no one can tell me I cannot practice? You cannot tell me I cannot practice good behavior. You cannot tell me I cannot believe in healthy ways. You cannot tell me that I cannot treat my biology in beneficial ways that make me a human I love, so that I want to be in service to all that is and like you. I like you more when I like me. You see, all of this is an inside job that has nothing to do with any human or system on the outside. So me trying to problem solve in reaction and drown my vital energy in the stupidity is not only moot, I'm not going to get what I want. So if I choose to stand in solution, or actually it's sit, I'm standing in problem solving mode, I'm sitting in solution allowing. If I choose to decide that everything happening on the outside is just right, because, let's pause right there, Either what's happening on the outside is right and righteous, or God is screwing up and has absolutely lost control. It's an either or. There's no medium in that. People don't want to hear that. But either it's right or God's fucking up and has lost control. Straight up. That's straight up what it is. And so I choose to think it's not only right but righteous, and that my job is to reframe my perspective and then choose service accordingly. So if I allow that the solution is occurring, the solution is imminent, and it's my job to simply see it that way, and then to see how I can bring my gifts forward after my daily alignment, my daily attunement, my daily maintenance, then I end up having this really beautiful life where I get to participate in something so much greater than me. And it's funny because people around me are like, wow, they say stuff like, I show up with audacious authenticity. What was it today? I show up with the way you show up with audacious authenticity gives me more courage, because I can tell you don't care what people think about you. It made me want to cry. No, I don't. No, I don't care what people think about me today. And I used to care so much. I don't even care a little bit. Not even like remotely. Not even. Because as I was telling one of my family members earlier, if I make my choices align with a power greater than me to the greatest understanding I have, then I don't give a rat's ass how it affects those around me. All I can do is do right by me. When I do right by me, I do right by you. As is above, so is below. As is within, so is without. I will see outside of me reflected that which is within me. So there's no sense going and wrangling your ass when I'm dirty inside. Alright, let's pull a card. And then it's beautiful timing that this planet gave me and the weather. Yo, so by the way, I think it's pretty interesting that well, there's actually been, let me backtrack. 3i Atlas just conjunct Mars yesterday. So 3i Atlas is that unidentified object in our galaxy, and it's 3i because it's only the third one like this, and it conjunct our war planet yesterday. So I'm really interested in when our planets conjunct, there's energetic meaning behind it, right? Like, this planet has energetic properties, nuances that affect the entire galaxy. This one has its own. They are unique. They are not the same. When they interact with each other in any type of way, be it a conjunction, be it a sextile or a square, it creates a certain dynamic. It's kind of like if this is green, or what is it? Oh my goodness, I lost my primary colors. If this is blue, if this is blue and this is yellow, it's going to make green. We know that. What kind of a green? A little green, a lot green, right? It's like that, okay? So since that's what normally happens in the universe, I'm super, super interested to know what the conjunction posed. Like, we know what Mars represents and we know how Mars rolls, but we don't know anything about this. And don't get me wrong, there's no one that we can consult on this unless y'all know whatever is on that identified object and we can ask it. But I'm just interested. Want to hear some really fun things that are going through my head? I'll share my woo-woo with you. I almost said something else. Oh, it's starting to rain again. Dang it. Okay, let me pull this card real quick. You can ask the planets. You are connected to all that is. You have the power to go into meditation and ask the planets what it be. This deal. I know. How crazy is that? Yeah, it's the coolest thing ever. Raccoon, you have everything you need. I'm pulling a little kid card and a big kid card. We're going to read really, really fast. Because I want my cards to remain dry. I whispered in my words. Okay, hold. From time to time, point out... Oh gosh, that's not the right one. Raccoon. Okay. Wanting something and needing something are two different things. When you say, I need that new toy or I need a new lunchbox, do you really need these things? I don't think so. But I can understand that you want them. The truth is there are very few things that you need. There are the basic needs that you must have to stay alive, like air, food, water, and shelter. But once these things are satisfied, there are other needs, such as the need to feel safe and loved. But most of the time, when we talk about things we need, they're really things we want. There's something to think about. As long as you have some of the basic needs met, you have everything you need. There are people in the world who really have to struggle to meet those basic needs and are appreciative when they are met. So after all, how many actually need a new bike or an iTouch or the latest Wii game? You can tell how out of touch I am. These are things you might want, but I'm in touch in another way. But you can live without them, unless you're so poor that getting your meals is a problem. You really do have everything you need. From there, anything else is a want. So on that, my consciousness has been raising, my awareness, gratefully, has been raised recently due to some changes in my family and my current situation. And a lot don't have what they need. It's a beautiful time on earth to truly be available to your fellow human, to truly take stock in all that you have, to truly be grateful. I know that sounds so trite when I didn't have it and people were like, be grateful. I'm like, yeah, thanks. What the fuck does that mean? How do I do it? So if you don't know how to be grateful, well then I'm just sorry for you. It's the truth. But what I really wanted to say is be simple in your gratitude right now. We have so much in this country that is not in other countries. And most of us, if you're watching this right now, if you give a rat's ass what I have to say, you have way more than the average human. And if you have not enough right now to cover the 3D, well, I will go so far as to say you've got it in the energetic bank account. If you are here plugged in with me today, you have a kind word, a hug, a connection, and a thought to share and spare with another and with yourself. So do the do. Get in the flow. Alright, we're pulling from the Goddess deck today because I pull from this deck for men or women because I believe this is the energy that we really all need. We really need the divine feminine energy for connection on this earth. We spend a lot of really good time in our heads, but it's absolutely time to travel to our hearts. Today I was saying that it's time to get our head over our heart, over my ass, over my feet. And what that means is my believing has to be hospitable and aligned with my feeling. Then my ass has to move. I have to be willing to take action over my feet to actually do it. I have to be an aligned creature from the believing to the behaving, you know? So all right. Ta-da! What are you doing? Would you go lay down, please? My dog is joining us. All right, we have Hestia, the home, but she's upside down. She's beautiful. Number 21. I have a strong intuitive feel on this right away, which I'm going to share before we even read. If y'all have been following me for quite some time, I've been telling you to create personal space and personal calm for a decade now. I've been telling you that it would come down to a time when it would be everything, and if you didn't have the ability to do it, it would be extremely difficult simply to balance and to go through a day. That time is nigh. that time is now, and it's going to get more and more hectic and chaotic in the end of the year into 2026. And so our ability to create a peaceful home within our own vessel first, in our own biology, to balance our own biology, and then to bring that balance into our home second, into our family, and then third into our neighborhood and community, and then outside of that to radiate the balance from the inside out is essential. We're going to see a bunch of I've been saying this for a while. I think about 95% of our coaches and motivators are going to change drastically in the next 6 months to a year. Because the person who is outward balance and not inward balance is really going to find it difficult. If we cannot create the balance from the inside out and be the balance wherever we go, it's going to become extremely difficult to try to attempt to show up and balance situations anymore and then find your balance, or to find your balance in the group that you used to find it in, or the person or the leader or the whatever, the coach. This is the time where we look for the people who are practicing what they preach, and you will know because you will feel it in them. You will feel it when you are with them, and you will feel it in their, if they do a podcast, you'll feel it in when you listen or when you write. You'll feel calm and you'll feel hope and you'll feel in the solution. But if you're feeling fear and if you're watching a person in front of you keep their deadlines but start to look like their vital energy is dwindling and their health is suffering, I would offer that might not be the way anymore. The ways are changing as the energy on the earth changes. As the energy on the earth changes, so does the physics. As the physics change, our operating systems update and upgrade. So we're in more need of insulation and grounding with more conductivity. We are electromagnetic superconductors. I know that sounds so fruity to some of you, but this is an electromagnetic heart in training, which means in charge of giving messages to your electric brain. When you go to the hospital, you get measured by an EKG and an EEG. So these two electric systems, one of them being magnetic, are the conductors in the 72% body of water. And so you are an ever conducting circuit, being gifted the opportunity to conduct more electricity and more conductivity right now. So with that, you have to have, it's like basic electricity. Most of us did something like this in school. You have to have all the little wires connected, and then the rubber has to be around the wire, you know, and you have to have your circuit grounded. So that's you. So you got to get your feet on the ground every day. You got to have a calm space that you go to or you create, you know, both create from the inside, and then preferably be able to put your head, you know, create some sort of a calm. If you don't have that right now, make it. I have been in a state in my own biology where no matter where I was, and you know, I used to go to jail. And I was in a women's shelter once, and so I've been some places where it hasn't been my favorite to lay my head. So if you can get so good that you create the space inside, then where you lay your head is where you close your eyes and lay your head. And if you can hold that for a period of time, then the outsides will be forced to match the insides. Meaning, if you can hold the beautiful space where you lay your head, regardless of where you're actually laying it, for long enough, one day you will open your eyes, and that beautiful space will be where you're opening your eyes from. That's some good stuff right there, and that's how it works. Alright, so here's our card. Hestia, she's upside down, and it says, are you surrounded by clutter in your home or work? Do you have objects or clothes that have negative stories attached to them? Every object holds energy and holds a specific story. The pants that don't fit shame you. The gift from an ex-partner taunts you with disappointment or resentment. The books you will never read shout at you. Who needs this cacophony? I love that word. The goddess Hestia, who rules the hearth, offers you this alignment task. Do a thorough house cleaning. Declutter and make space in your environment. Do the same for your mind too. Your mind might be cluttered with old stories that have no value for you now. Walk away from situations you know you don't belong in. Get rid of all of it. When you remove the superfluous distractions, it's amazing how your intentions come together like magic. Make space for the miracles the goddess Hestia has in store for you. Yes, it takes work, but it's worth it. I'm too excited in the last two sentences to even keep myself together. The last three sentences are this whole little chat. When you remove, slow down, Heather. Center. I get going so fast. I'm like your kids, to snap and rock. I'm all those things. I've just learned tools to slow myself down. I think it's important to share that because I want you to see that your baby can be like this baby too. All right now. So, get rid of all of it. Get rid of the situations that you don't belong in. When you remove the superfluous distractions, it's amazing. Superfluous distractions are also the thoughts that you have about situations that are no longer current in your current. They're no longer applicable, hospitable, offering your well-being in your current flow, in your funky mellow, okay? So, as you get rid of those, as you clean house in your head and your actual house, because every part of your house that you have crap in corresponds to a specific part of your life. I should do a course on that. How delicious is that? It's the truth. I'm not going to get into it right now. I'm going to save it for an unfolding and an unpacking another time. But that's how it works. So if you start cleaning up your house and cleaning up your room and your closets and your bathroom, and you start cleaning out your belief system slowly but surely, you start to notice that your life has more flow. It has more space for energy to come in. It has more supportive situations, and you're manifesting more of what you desire. And as it says, yes, it takes work, but it's worth it. I'm not really playing with the word work lately. I do dig the word discipline because I have found that my degree of write this down. My degree of personal discipline is directly reciprocative. Is that it, right? Is that the tense? Write down the right tense. My degree of personal discipline is directly reciprocative of my personal freedom. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I dig discipline. So I don't call it work. I call it that I get to show up and do these things, and then I get to be more free. For real. Like, it's kind of like this. Some of you will absolutely get this. I don't really feel like putting on makeup often. And I appreciate the beautiful comment about my hair. My hair is a shit show, but thank you. And I love you. And I appreciate you saying so. Because I'm not letting it get in my way today. I'm not letting the South Node in Virgo screw with me. Ooh, I look so beautiful like that from that angle. That's my favorite. Okay, back to reality, where my hair's uneven. I'm so silly, I lost my train of thought. I'm not letting it mess with me. And what was, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Oh, what was I saying? And I can't stop it and wind it back. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I mean, really, what was I saying? I have no clue. If anybody wants to bring me back up to what I was saying, and recap me. Discipline is beauty. Thank you, and I love you. Thank you, truly thank you. I get to, yes, I get to show up and do these things. Oh, that's what I was saying with the makeup. Okay, so I don't always like to put on makeup, but if I take the time to present my hair and put on my makeup and choose my clothes and play this part, right? And it's not that I'm being fake. It's a 27th it's a 27th pie slice of my pie, right? I have 26 others. I don't know how many pie slices I have, but go with me here. There's like 27 pie slices to my pie. So it's not that putting on my makeup and putting my hair like this and putting on my dress is fake. It's a pie slice, right? It's a character of Heather. And if y'all know me, there's a zillion. Anyway, stay on track, Heather. So I am willing to play the part and play the character because it allows me to show up in a capacity that really makes me feel beautiful and look for more beauty. It's like it's a character, and when I be this character, just like if I was gonna go meet your parents, I'd be a character, you know. I'm not gonna show up and be like, what up, motherfuckers, yeah, right? I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not gonna use bad language. I'm gonna operate in the manners my mom gave me, right? So that's one of my pie slices. That's one of my characters, you know. And I have to be willing to step into that behavior when I meet your parents, okay? I have to be willing to put my makeup on. And I have to have the discipline to put the makeup on and to find a dress I like and to get myself in this mode and to come on here and connect with you all. And then the reward is huge. And I don't do it for the reward. I do it because it puts me in a flow that I love the way it feels. I love the way it feels. I love the way it feels when I feel beautiful. I love the way it feels when I feel beautiful because it makes me want to feel beautiful to you, with you. It makes me want to bring my beauty, which I think is the most beautiful thing that we've completely lost track of. We forget how much beauty is in the sunset and the sunrise, a baby being born, a magnificent flower, wanting to lean in and smell it. We forget how much beauty is present in everything when we simply allow the solution. When we're not in problem-solving mode. When we're in solution-allowing mode, things get beautiful. They smell better, they feel better, they become more erotic in every exchange, and it's completely appropriate. It's not even weird. That might sound interesting, but it's true. So, I'm willing to exercise the discipline and take the time and the daily maintenance to show up in the way that I desire, so I can have more influence over my experience and what flows to me. Again, it does not mean that life doesn't happen. It means that I'm choosing the flow in which I want to flow in. You know, it's like get in your canoe and pick it. Anyway, before I give you 20 more analogies, I'm going to get off of here. But if anybody has a question or wants to holler something at me real quick, I will... does anybody have any questions? Thank you guys for joining me. Let me also tell you that I have been laying low on here. I have a bunch of new stuff going on, which I will share with you all soon. It's my dog. I have a whole bunch of new stuff. We will be live and in the village in the new year. We are updating and upgrading and animating the village. and making the services more specialized. I will have new marketing and skin care and scalar energy products. Everything is coming. And new workshops and tools. I've just really been taking the opportunity to practice what I preach and what this is about, and also that card, and get my figurative and literal home right. Like, I'm doing that. I'm cleaning things out. I'm cleaning out my old beliefs. I'm cleaning out my closets. I'm cleaning out my house. We're rearranging things in my home. And I'm rearranging things in my home and my heart, which is allowing me to rearrange things in my brain, in my computer. Because this is my home and this is my computer. It's like, this is the home and this is the operating system. And so I really want to conduct my energy in a way that is more beneficial for my overall well-being and for that of my family, especially in light of imminent change and continuously fluctuating circumstances, which I trust will continue to happen. So I am putting the emphasis and my hocus pocus focus, as I wrote the other day, into what I have more influence over and in. Actually, I won't say over. It is influence in. It's not control over. It's influence in. So is here with us. We love you and are going to be clean. Oh, I love the house cleaning. I love it. I love it. It's actually, my mom used to play 𝗖𝙑𝙬 Chapman when we used to house clean. And I did enjoy that time with her. We have recently sanctioned new chores in our home, and I'm finding it fun. I'm finding it fun to ask others to help me. I have recently, and this is a whole nother unpacking. We will unpack this, especially for American women. But I've been noticing that in my upbringing, somewhere I adopted a belief that it was better for me to just be able to do it myself, do it fast, and do it efficiently, than to spend time instructing others around me so that maybe one day they could do it as fast, as effectively, and as efficiently as me. Why would I want to only invest in my own efforts when I could build a village? So, hello, 𝗣𝗿𝗍𝗄𝗏, and I love you. So with that, I love you all. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're interested in my services, personally send me an email. You can go to my website to see what type of services I offer. If nothing else, join my social media and look forward to joining the village in the next couple of months and learning better ways to connect and take care of yourself in easier, healthier, happier, more affordable ways than you ever thought possible. Yeah, don't say, yes, I do. All right, I'm out, y'all. I love you. Thank you for being here. I love you, I love you, I love you. Mwah.